Adolf Hitler. Few names in history are as well known or as controversial as Adolf Hitler. More than 80 years after his death, people around the world continue to study his life, trying to understand how one man rose from obscurity to become the leader of Germany and a central figure in one of the darkest periods of human history. This is the story of his rise, his power, and his downfall. Adolf Hitler was born on April 20th, 1889, in the small Austrian town of Braunau am Inn. His father, Alois Hitler, was a strict customs official who believed in discipline and obedience. His mother, Clara Hitler, was loving and protective, and Adolf was especially close to her. As a young boy, Hitler did not dream of becoming a political leader. Instead, he wanted to become an artist. He enjoyed drawing buildings, landscapes, and scenes from everyday life. While his father wanted him to pursue a stable government career, Adolf imagined a future in art. After his father's death, Hitler became more determined to follow his dream. In his late teens, he moved to Vienna, one of Europe's great cultural cities. He hoped to gain admission to the prestigious Vienna Academy of Fine Arts, but his dream was shattered. The academy rejected his application, stating that his work did not meet its standards. Hitler applied again the following year, only to face another rejection. These failures deeply disappointed him. Life in Vienna became increasingly difficult. He struggled financially and often lived in poor conditions. To survive, he sold small paintings and postcards. During these years, he spent much of his time reading newspapers, observing politics, and developing strong opinions about society and government. In 1913, Hitler moved to Munich, Germany. Just 1 year later, World War I began. Like many young men of his generation, Hitler volunteered for military service. He served as a messenger on the Western Front, a dangerous role that required carrying messages between military positions during battle. The war exposed him to violence, hardship, and loss. He witnessed the destruction caused by modern warfare and saw countless soldiers injured or killed. For his service, he received military decorations for bravery. When the war ended in 1918, Germany was defeated. Many Germans were shocked by the outcome. Economic problems, political instability, and public anger spread throughout the country. Hitler was deeply affected by these events and became increasingly interested in politics. Soon after the war, he joined a small political group that would later become the National Socialist German Workers' Party, commonly known as the Nazi Party. Hitler quickly gained attention because of his powerful speaking ability. He could attract large crowds and deliver speeches that appealed to people who were frustrated with Germany's economic struggles and political uncertainty. As the years passed, his influence grew. In 1923, Hitler attempted to seize power in Munich through a failed uprising known as the Beer Hall Putsch. The attempt failed, and he was arrested and sent to prison. For many politicians, such a setback would have ended their careers. For Hitler, it became an opportunity. While in prison, he wrote a book outlining many of his political ideas and future goals. After his release, he returned to politics and focused on gaining power through legal means rather than force. During the late 1920s and early 1930s, Germany faced severe economic difficulties. Unemployment rose dramatically, and many people lost faith in traditional political leaders. The Nazi Party gained support by promising stability, economic recovery, and national strength. In 1933, Adolf Hitler became Chancellor of Germany. Once in power, he moved quickly to strengthen his control over the country. Political opponents were suppressed, democratic institutions weakened, and the government became increasingly authoritarian. Over time, Hitler gained almost complete control over Germany. Large public rallies, propaganda campaigns, and strict government control became central features of life under Nazi rule. At the same time, the regime implemented discriminatory policies that targeted various groups of people. These actions would later lead to widespread persecution and immense human suffering. As Hitler's power expanded, his ambitions also grew. In 1939, Germany invaded Poland. This event marked the beginning of World War II, one of the deadliest conflicts in human history. Over the following years, the war spread across Europe, North Africa, and Asia. Millions of soldiers and civilians became caught in the conflict. Initially, Germany achieved several military successes. Large areas of Europe came under German control, and Hitler appeared stronger than ever. But the situation eventually changed. Military campaigns became increasingly difficult, and Germany faced powerful opposition from multiple countries. Major battles resulted in enormous losses. As the war continued, the human cost became devastating. Entire cities were destroyed, millions of people lost their lives, families were separated, and nations were left in ruins. By 1945, Germany's defeat was becoming unavoidable. Allied forces advanced from multiple directions, capturing territory and pushing toward Berlin, the German capital. Inside Berlin, Hitler's position grew increasingly desperate. He spent his final days in an underground bunker, while the city above was engulfed in battle. Despite the worsening situation, he continued to receive military reports and discuss strategies, even as Germany's collapse became inevitable. On April 30th, 1945, Adolf Hitler died in the bunker. Just days later, Germany officially surrendered, bringing the war in Europe to an end. The conflict left a lasting impact on the world. The destruction caused by World War II reshaped international politics, influenced future generations, and led to important discussions about leadership, power, human rights, and the dangers of extremism. Today, Adolf Hitler remains one of history's most studied figures. His story is not remembered because of success alone, but because of the enormous consequences of his actions and the lessons that history continues to draw from them. From a young boy who dreamed of becoming an artist to a leader whose decisions affected millions of lives, Adolf Hitler's journey remains one of the most significant and cautionary stories in modern history.